I don't want to feed part of myself to an animal. It is Sunday, June 28th, 2020, and on this week's edition of Sunday Sofa Time, we're talking about 5 freaky travel things I will never do. Did you guys see my emotional breakdown video a couple days ago? I'm still wondering if I should have posted that or not. I don't know. Just, I heard that song and some emotional dam burst and I needed to get it out. And I feel so much better now. And we're still having amazing weather here in Hamburg, so that's great. I wanted to go to the pool today because the outdoor pools are open, but I'm waiting for some furniture to get delivered. Getting a new carpet and a new office chair that I sit in for when I'm editing. And it's one of those things, you know, where you get a message saying, oh, let's set up a time. You can pick between 8 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, or 10 in the morning and 8 o'clock at night. And they'll probably show up tomorrow anyways. Tangent! In today's video, like I said, we are going to talk about 5 things that are kind of like things that you will encounter while traveling to foreign destinations that I've seen lots of videos of, I've seen in real life, and these are things that I never want to do. And some of them are things that I think, how can anybody want to do that? And the first one I want to talk about is something that I've actually seen in real life and didn't do and won't do. And these are these street sleds on the island of Madeira. Most of you who've done a transatlantic cruise from the States to Europe have probably been to Madeira. When we did our transatlantic cruise on the Epic from Miami to Barcelona, that was the only place we stopped in between. It was a lot of sea days on that cruise. And I think these street sleds are one of the most famous things that tourists do there on the island, and I just... no. You guys know I love thrill rides, I love roller coasters, I love skiing, I go sledding, but I'm not gonna do this. Not only do I feel like there's so many things that could go wrong, but I just feel bad for these guys that are, you know, steering these sleds. And then they have to push them all the way back up the hill. I know it's a cool, you know, like long time tradition, but I'm just not gonna do it. If you've been to Madeira, have you done it? I know from talking to some others of you, I know some of you have done it, but just let me know again, if you've been there and you've done it, write it in the comments below. The next one is not like a tourist thing, but it's something that you could encounter when traveling to a foreign country, and those are the squatty toilets. How often do we talk about bathrooms on this channel? I feel like the main subjects are cruise ships, theme parks, food, bathrooms. Maybe I should start a second channel or a third channel about bathrooms. And I have encountered squatty toilets in the past, and you guys know that I just like to have my privacy when I need to like do a duty. You know, there's really nothing wrong with that, is there? I don't need to be ashamed of that, right? I can think of one really awful like bathroom encounter that I've had on my travels, and that was when I was in Tunisia, something that I don't think I've really talked about here on the channel. Tunisia is a country on the coast of Africa, and it's actually where they filmed a lot of the Star Wars movies. A lot of the desert scenes were filmed in the deserts of Tunisia. And I did like a bus tour when I was there that took us to a couple different sites and then to this big market. And while I was walking around this market, of course I had to go to the bathroom. How could it go any differently? And I asked the tour guide, and he said, yeah, if you go down this street, there's like a public bathroom there. And this was like, there's not many things that could have been added to this bathroom to make it a worse experience. Not only was it only squatty potties, but it was just like 4 of them in a room with no walls or doors or privacy whatsoever. They were like in a row, and you just go in there, and if you have to crap, you just pull down your pants and pick one to squat on, and it could be that somebody come in and like pee in the one next to you while you're squatting there. Nope. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I managed to hold it until we got back to the hotel. I would have no problem peeing there, but I just cannot. I'm not even gonna finish the sentence. Would any of you be able to perform in that situation? Like if you walked in there and you wanted to poop and there's somebody like already squatting there, and would you be able to just, you know, drop trow and hang your butt over that hole and poop in that situation? I mean, I'm not saying that I probably couldn't. I won't. I will not. Okay, moving on to something less disgusting. And it's something that I talked about in a recent video about new cruise ship features coming on ships that are going to be like launched and available for 2021. And that is, I have this phobia, this fear of swimming in dark water where like the bottom is really far away. And I love swimming. I love being in the water. I was obsessed with going to the pool and swimming when I was a kid. I'm a strong swimmer, even though I almost drowned once. I should tell you guys that story. We were tubing on the Apple River in Wisconsin, and yeah, I'll tell you guys that story some other time. Tangent! So even though I had a really traumatic experience in the water, I've had two actually, because I almost watched my brother drown. Tangent! Let's not talk about drowning today. There are cruise ships being launched or yachts being launched where like they can clap down like a sun deck on the back, and then you can like go swimming off the back of the ship when it's in port. But you're not like close. You're like far away, and it's gonna be deep, and I'm not gonna do it. And if I was like on a whale watching excursion or, you know, like a sailboat or something that was far away from the coast, I just could not get in the water. That just freaks me out. Okay, the next two are kind of exotic and things that, are not like available everywhere, but definitely don't want to do either of these, and I'm gonna tell you about them right after this commercial break. Did you get one? What was it about? Write it in the comments below. I'm trying to decide which order I want to say these in, and they both have to do with animals. Okay, I'm gonna start with monkeys. There are countries where monkeys exist in tourist areas, and they're totally allowed to. That's, you know, they're animals. They need to live someplace. But they interact with tourists, and usually they're aggressive. I have seen so many videos of people getting their cameras stolen, their purses stolen, their bags stolen, their hair pulled by free-running monkeys in cities, at like temples, on the beach, and I don't want to go to any of those places. I don't want to be accosted by a wild animal like a monkey. Something that's fast and strong and has claws. I don't need to give it a hug. And every time I see these videos, it makes me like really tense. And I'm sure that there's some places that are really beautiful to visit, but I would just need to know that that's not gonna happen. And I know, whose video was it? I think it was Booze Cruise. Didn't you guys go to a resort in Mexico or something, and there were monkeys climbing around just like in the trees and stuff? No! I don't wanna go there. And I also don't wanna get my picture taken with like a leopard or something like that. I don't think that's right, and I just don't wanna be that close to any animal that could possibly maul me. I kind of feel like that's a reasonable fear, isn't it? Final one also has to do with animals, and that I think the trend started in Asian countries, and I've also seen it in Prague and on Gran Canaria, the Spanish island, and that is flesh-eating fish. There are places where you can go and put your feet in a tank full of fish that will eat your skin. Flesh-eating fish. Why do people do this? I don't get it. Why do you want to put a part of your body in a tank containing animals that are going to eat your Somebody please tell me. I don't get it. Apparently they only eat the dead skin, and it leaves your feet feeling really soft, and like you don't have to, you know, buff off your calluses or whatever. I don't know, but I don't want to feed part of myself to an animal. And I don't think it should be encouraged. I don't want to shame anybody who wants to do it. I don't want to shame anybody who wants to do any of these things. That's not what I'm about. You guys know that. Only thing that I've talked about today that I think is kind of wrong is when like wild animals, you know, like leopards or bears or things like that, are chained to like a photo opportunity. I really don't think that's cool. But all these other things, if you guys don't have a problem with them, then yeah, you know, go for it. But you won't see me doing it. And now comes a time on Sunday Sofa Time where I comment on your comments live on air. In last week's Sunday Sofa Time, I had a special guest. My friend Dino was here, and I didn't realize how many of you guys really liked Dino. I thought he was, of the characters I played, I thought he was the one that the least people liked. Wrong. You guys seem to really like Dino, and I will bring him back occasionally, just like I do the other characters here. Oh, but one thing I wanted to tell you is Grandma can't come back, and it's something I'm really disappointed by, and it's because, you know, I'm old. I don't understand how these things like Snapchat and what's the other one now? Not Vine, but TikTok. I don't know those things. And Grandma appeared because of a Snapchat filter, and I didn't realize that Snapchat filters disappear. Like, they're there for a couple days and then they're gone forever apparently. And so rest in peace, Grandma, but I don't think she'll be back. That's too bad, unless any of you know a way to get around that. So first comment is from Grumpy and V. They write, launch a submarine, OMG, ROTFL for real. Oh, I am cool enough to know that OMG means oh my god and ROTFL means roll on the floor laughing. Morgan, you're killing me over here. I needed this laugh. It's been a long weekend. Those kind of comments make me so happy. It always makes me feel good to know that people enjoy what I do, or learn from something that I've mentioned that's helped them plan something, or just to know that people get a kick out of what I do and that it helps you, like, you know, laugh and smile and have a good time. I love getting those kind of comments. Thank you guys for writing. Next comment is from G.S.A. They write, these people who freaking prematurely line up in the board lines before they even start the boarding process. Can't stand it. I totally know what you mean, and I have to say, Germans are like the worst when it comes to that. They'll be lined up at the gate before there's even like a gate agent there, and I always think, we all have a seat reservation. Why? We're gonna be sitting on that plane for the next however many hours. Why fight now to get in line to be one of the first people in your seat? My brother calls them gate lice, because as soon as you have one, you've got like hundreds of them. Final comment is from Deosha Smith. Deosha writes, one day I will learn my lesson and not watch Morgan when I'm supposed to be being quiet. You can't help but holler out laughing at him. Another one of those comments that really makes me happy, but Deosha, I wasn't in that video. That was Dino. So, you know, I'll pass this on to Dino, but you know, I wasn't there. Coming up in the next few weeks on the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, I'm going to be posting some videos of our Disney World trip from January, and it's gonna be like a hotel tour and some like ride things and an encounter with a surprisingly rude Disney cast member. So make sure you keep in touch, keep looking back for those videos, and I can't wait to see you here again soon in front of the red sofa. Adios.